This is an example of a custom retry service. Let us say that the target service is down. How do you handle such a scenario? In our case, what we're going to do is we're going to call a process that subsequently calls a service. In this case, the service itself is down. We'll try 5 times to see if the service was up while we were retrying. And then we'll log each of these errors to the custom object in Salesforce. And finally, after retrying for 5 times, we just give up. So let us put in the time interval between each retry. I'm going to say 10 seconds. And I'm going to say continue. Now this should create a process that will subsequently try to call the service. So let's look at the process. It's called echo service. Now you can see here it tries to call this particular service, but this service is down. So I have the fault handler here. It catches the fault. It writes to the Salesforce custom object. And then it instantiates a custom retry service, which tells whether to retry or not. So in this case, if its retry is set to yes, then it waits for the interval that was specified by the user, and it goes back to calling the echo service again. So let's look at the actual log messages by this filter. Yep. Alright, so this is the first attempt. It says there is no service name found called echo service. Attempt number 2, attempt number 3, attempt number 4, attempt number 5, and then finally it says I've retried 5 times and not retry any further. So that's actually the main process, but it's the retry service that's driving this particular process, and that's driving the retry logic in this case. So let's look at the retry service. I'm saying if process name is so and so, and if the service that you're calling is so and so, then if retry attempts is less than 5, set yes to retry, otherwise you end. So in this case, you call this service, it fails, you come here, you log the error to Salesforce, and then you call the retry service, which will tell you if you should do further retries. If you're doing further retries, then you wait for whatever the user put in there. So I put in 10 seconds, so I'm going to wait 10 seconds and then I'm going to call the service again. So this is an example of a custom retry service.